You might see my eyes going up and down because I'm recording live on two platforms this morning. Clean that off a little bit. How y'all doing this morning? Look, I've been up for a little while now this morning, and I'm here today to share with you some of my heart. I wanted to share my heart this morning. I wanted to come to you this morning and talk to you a little bit about who I am and how I got here and what my intentions are, because I think it's very important to share your heart. I am a heart-led person. I do things from my heart, and I believe that that's the way people are attracted to you. I think one thing people really like about me is that I'm 100% authentic. Like, I give you the real deal because I am a true believer that real recognizes real, and that there's no way that you can attract a person to you or be of um, any good to a person unless you're honest about who you are as a person. So I want to share a little bit of my story with you this morning. And I want to thank you for those of you who are getting this information in my automation. I want to thank you for saying yes to yourself, because you didn't say yes to me. You said yes to yourself. You may have met me on TikTok. You may have met me on YouTube. You may have met me on Instagram. You may have met me on Facebook. More than likely, those are the four platforms that you met me on, because that's where I do my best work. But wherever you met me, you decided to say yes to yourself. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. I asked you a question in one of my pieces of content. I asked you, why did you choose digital marketing? Why are you interested in digital marketing? And I shared some of my experiences with you. And I may have said, put ready in the chat or put one in the chat. And you, out of thousands of people who have watched my videos over the years, you had the courage to say, hey, I need more information. I know automation is taking over. I know digital marketing is the way of the future. And I know I need to learn more about these skill sets so that I can be ready to compete in the future. And for that, I just say congratulations. But the object of my live this morning and this video this morning is to share with you a little bit of my story. Okay. First of all, for those of you who don't know me, I am Dory Ray. I am the person who you said yes to in the comments. I am the person who um, was, or let me put it like this: I am a mom. I am a grandmom. I am a sister. I am a daughter, even though both of my parents are deceased. I am a daughter. That's a very big part of my story, and I'm a friend. But most of all, I'm a businesswoman. I'm a woman who, my youngest daughter is 29 years old. 27 years ago, I was introduced to an industry that made me change the whole trajectory of my life. Along the way, many people thought I had lost my freaking mind. Okay. But I'm going to share that with you as well. And I'm going to try to keep this short because I want you to watch this whole video, because somebody's life is going to change today. So let me just give you a little background. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I am a baby boomer. I just turned 60 years old in September of this year. So September 8th, 1964, I was born. I was born into a beautiful family, had a very loving mother. She passed over 22 years ago. I had an amazing father who I'm going to tell you a little bit about in just a few minutes. He just passed last December. And I have amazing siblings, and I have wonderful, amazing, fantastic children. And I have a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious grandson who is 6 years old, named Madi. I live a very full life. I live a very loving life. I have loving friends. I'm very blessed. Okay. I'm very blessed. Okay. Now, along the way, I had to come through some things. Okay. So I want to tell you how this thing went for me. I came from a family, and I came from a generation. I'm a baby boomer. So I came from a generation where you didn't say no to your parents. You did what you were told. It wasn't like today. So my parents told me the best way to make it in these United States of America, that's rapidly changing right before our eyes, is to go to school, get a good education. If you are fortunate enough, hey Bubby, if you are fortunate enough, you can get a higher education, which I did. I graduated from the Mecca, Howard University. I graduated in 1986 with a Bachelor of Business Administration and Marketing. Okay. I came out of school, not summa cum laude, not thank you, not not magna cum laude. I actually came out of school. Thank you, Lordy. I just came back from my homecoming where my girlfriends were laughing at me because I told them I graduated with a 2.8 and I was happy as a pig in shit, okay? Because I knew it was time for me to get out. I did all the things I wanted to do in college. I pledged a fraternity, I pledged a sorority, Delta Sigma Theta sorority, and I was happy. I was a happy girl. I came out, I floundered around for a little while, but ultimately I found myself in corporate America. I had a six-figure job at a very early age. I was a pharmaceutical sales rep. I had a job that most people would die for. I mean, I was the girl out there calling on doctors and teaching your doctors how to prescribe the medicine that they gave to you. That should make you a little nervous, okay? But that was my job. And guess what? It was sales. It was my first experience in sales, and I was good at it. I was very good at it. As I was so good at it, as a matter of fact, that I won top sales awards, I won trips, I won all kinds of things because I knew how to relate to people. But somewhere along the way, I was introduced. One of my cousins, by the way, my cousins Pam and Vernon, introduced me to the network marketing industry. Okay, they told me that there was a way that I could stop trading time for dollars. I was getting a little sick of working for somebody else. I didn't particularly like pharmaceutical sales. I didn't like the whole idea of the rejection. I never liked rejection, and there was a lot of rejection in pharmaceutical sales. And the industry was changing with all these HIPAA laws and all that kind of stuff, and I wanted out. And on a personal note, I had had my first experience with major depression. Okay, we're gonna talk about that a little bit. So when my cousins Pam and Vernon came to me, they said to me, "Listen, there's a way that you can learn how to make some different kind of income." And I had never heard about it before. Here I had went to the top schools in Philadelphia because I was very smart. I graduated from Howard University where I saw all kind of professors. And here I was now out in corporate America making six figures, but nobody told me, good morning, nobody told me about anything about passive and residual income. So I was out of my mind. I was like, man, you mean to tell me I can do something one time and get paid for that one time effort over and over and over again. And then I can teach somebody else to do it and then get paid off the efforts of other people. See, in pharmaceutical sales, they didn't pay me like that. They gave me a territory and I got paid off a market share. And I had to work my ass off every single day to make sure I maintained that market share. But they introduced me to this company, Amway, where now they were telling me I was going to be a millionaire. And you couldn't tell me, you could not turn that down a little bit, Bubby. You could not tell me that I wasn't going to be a millionaire. I mean, I would have sold the farm it because I knew I was going to be a millionaire when I was introduced to Amway. I had never seen people like that in my life. So Amway lasted for a little while, and then when I left Amway, I went to another company, another company, another company. Chasing the dream because now I knew about this passive and residual income, and I wanted more, more, more. Finally, I found myself in health and wellness, and I joined a company called Miranda, and I stayed there for 9 years. And there, I made more money. I actually made six figures at that company, but it took me 9 years to do it. I'm getting to the point here. I want y'all to stick this thing out with me. I'm getting to the point. I sacrificed everything. I can remember my daughter Aaliyah, who was 2 years old when I started pressing her face up against the window, going, "Mommy, don't leave." I was going to meetings every week. I was doing. I mean, I was giving that thing 24/7. That thing had me by the throat. Okay, so by the time I got to health and wellness, I joined an amazing team. I made more money, but guess what? I never made the $1 million or the money that I thought I was going to make. I gave up a lot of time, but I never was able to really, really enjoy the the um the rewards that they said came with this passive and residual income. And it got to a point where I left Miranda and I went to work for a couple other health and wellness companies. And then the pandemic came, and I'm going to share with you some other things that happened. But I never got to that point, and I started getting frustrated. I don't know if y'all understand frustration when you have an entrepreneurial spirit and you keep trying over and over, and your friends from Howard University are watching you, and you feel like a failure because you still don't have that lifestyle that you talked about and that you promoted, and the money still wasn't right, and you still asking friends and family to buy things from you, and they think you now because you've been with five different companies, they think you kind of like a scammy or something. My friends just make jokes about like, "What you selling now, Dory?" And they used to get on my nerves on the low. Okay, they used to really get on my nerves, but that's the only way I knew how to get customers. I would jump in strangers' inboxes, all that kind of stuff to get to my goals. But I was determined I was going to be that entrepreneur I said I was going to be, so I continued to do it. But then I had an interruption in my life. So in 2018, I believe it was, when the pandemic came, at the same time, my father, who was a little, I think at the time he was 79, started showing signs of dementia. I mean, very quickly started showing signs of dementia, and he was going down fast. And so my brother, my sister, and myself got together and said, somebody got to move in with daddy. So I'm like, okay, I was the most qualified candidate. I ain't had no man. My sister had a man. My brother had a wife, and I was the only one that was single enough to move in with my father. So I moved in with my father. And from 2018 till he passed in 2023, I took care of my father. When I tell you it was the most honorable, but the hardest thing I ever did was to be a caregiver. I kind of disappeared from network marketing. I skipped over a lot because I don't want to keep y'all all day. In all of this time with network marketing, I had many episodes with depression. Major depression had nothing to do with network marketing. Had the fact to do that I was diagnosed and I had major depressive disorder. I was a person, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know how you want to look at it, who suffered with depression, which is a real disease. I mean, I've been every stage of depression, and every time I would get depressed, I would leave the internet. I would disappear. People couldn't find me. And every time I was ready to come back out, I had to reintroduce myself. So when my father got sick, I left the internet again, but this time it wasn't so much depression. I was exhausted. I was exhausted from taking care of my father. My father was very difficult to take care of. But when he passed in December of 2023, after 20 plus years, almost 27 years in network marketing, your girl was flat broke. I'm just telling you my honest to God story. I was flat broke because it didn't work for me the way I thought it would work for me. I love the industry. I love the people I met. Oh my God, they're still my closest friends to this day. I love so many things about it. But at the end of the day, can we keep it 100? I was flat broke after 27 years in the industry. And I did some things right. I did some things wrong, but that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I was flat broke. But guess what? I still had bills to pay. Now at this time, my daughters were now 29 and almost 33. And they were taking care of me. And that just wasn't the picture I had in my mind. I always thought that I would take care of them, take them on great vacations, and be able to finance their lives and help them out as they became young adults and, do this and do that. But I wasn't in a position to do anything. I was also dealing with some slight physical challenges. But at the end of the day, I was flat broke. And at the end of the day, I had to take care of this house that my father left. And let me tell you what happened. So I'm laying in the bed because I'm dealing with some physical challenges. I deal with some chronic pain issues. I don't want to get all into that today, but I gave myself permission to feel sorry for myself. I gave myself permission to feel sorry for myself. So from December of 2023, when my father passed, till April of 2024, I literally laid in my bed. The only time I moved out the bed was to go to the doctors, or I would go over my sister's house from time to time, just to lay in her bed so I could have a change of scenery. I just laid in the bed. I was holding on to all my pain points and feeling sorry for myself. But guess who didn't care? PECO, that's our electric company. PGW, that's our gas company. The water company, the homeowners company, which I'm going to tell you all about in a minute. So I knew that I needed to do something. But my daughters were holding down the bills, and I was like, okay, I'm going to lay in the bed, and I'm feeling sorry for myself, yada, yada, yada. So my grandson, who is the joy of my life, one day he came into my room, and this is a true story, and he rubbed his hand across my head because he used to always come and just rub my hand. But it was something about this day when he rubbed his hand across my head and he said, Grandma, I just want you to be better. And it was as if somebody, like a lightning bolt, had struck through my head. I couldn't, I knew I had to get the hell up. I knew I had to get up. He rubbed my head so nice and soft. And he's only 6. He said, Grandma, I want you to get better. He wasn't even 6 yet. He was 5 at the time because it was in April. No, I'm sorry. It was in May. So what I did, I was already peeking at y'all on the internet. So I started looking around. I came up with one of my sorority sisters. Her name was Tracy Walker. She was doing this new thing. Because I had made a decision, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and getting different and expecting different results. And I said, I'm not going back to network marketing. I don't want to. I don't want to jump in inboxes anymore. I'm tired of the whole deal. I don't want to do it anymore. And I loved it for years and years and years, but I didn't want to do it anymore. And it's my prerogative. So I said, I got to find something else. And my daughters kept telling me, Mom, just go get a job. But I was entrepreneur for so long. I don't know damn job. I don't want to go get a job, right? But I knew it was something out there for me. And I just said, God, what is for me? What's out there for me? So I'm searching on the internet, and I came across Tracy's page, and I knew what she was doing was not network marketing. It was something different. So I kept watching her page, and all of a sudden I noticed it was something called digital marketing. How you doing, Ta- Tanyata? Tanyata, tell her how you doing. So it was digital marketing. Now my daughters, who are 29 and 33, always told me, "Oh, that's for them people. That's for them techie people, or that's for the blue check people." I call them people who got the blue check by their name. They are muckety muck. They are somebody. So I was like, that ain't for me. I'm 60 years old. You know what I mean? What am I going to do? I don't have no tech skills. I only got about 2,000 followers. What am I going to do? But let me tell you something. Something about that grabbed my heart. And I reached out to Tracy. Now, mind you, I was pitiful at the time. I was going through this chronic pain issue. I was still feeling sorry for myself. In a way, I was still grieving my father's death, who I'd taken care of for 4 years with dementia. And I reached out to her and I said, Tracy, I need to talk to you. Because remember, my grandson had rubbed his head across my thing. And I was like, no, I'm not going to let him down. His legacy is not going to be, oh, when they say, who's your grandmother? Oh, she laid in the bed and cried all day. Because I did for 4 months. So I reached out to Tracy and I said, Tracy, in the inbox, what are you doing? Is it time we could talk? Tracy gave me some time to talk with her. Long story short, I cried for an hour on the phone with that girl, with my soror. I shouldn't call her that girl because she's a phenomenal woman. I cried on the phone with her for an hour, telling her I needed something to do. I don't have no money. I didn't even have $5. I said, Tracy, what are we doing? What are you doing? Do you think I can do it? She said, Dory, you can do it. All you need is to find the money to get started. There were 4 offerings. There was $100 startup, a 300, a 600, and 900. So now my eyes was on just getting to that $100 startup. Cause I was like, I didn't know how. Turn that down, Bob. You're too loud. You're competing with me. I didn't know how to get to 900. I didn't think anyway. So I said, I just need to get to 100. I said, Tracy, I'm going to get there by my grandson's birthday. I made that my date, his birthday. That was June 10th when I reached out to Tracy. My grandson's birthday was June 25th. So I said, I'm gonna get that $100. So I went back and back to myself. I said, okay, I'm gonna find this money. I got about the bed a little bit, moving around a little bit, and I saw another one of my sorors named TK Walker. Now, both of those ladies have been $1 million earners in network marketing. That's hint, hint, clue, clue. Both of them have been $1 million earners in network marketing. So I was like, if they doing it, it must be something going on over in this digital marketing thing. Then I saw other $1 million earners. Like, well, what the hell is going on in this digital marketing? All the top earners in network marketing are starting to do this. I know I'm in the right place at the right time. So I just went and I went to TK's page. Now, the difference between Tracy and TK is that TK was my sponsor in my last company. She had, been checking in on me during my whole time I was taking care of my father. We were very much closer than Tracy and I. Only knew Tracy just a little bit, but I didn't know TK was doing it. So I said, I'm going to ask TK. I told you I'm the most authentic person you know. I'm going to ask TK if I could borrow $100 so I can get in business. I was that broke. I didn't want to ask my daughters because I was sneaking. I didn't want them to know I was doing it because they had told me to get a job. I was like, that's for other people. Okay. So I called TK. I can remember I was sitting in the bathroom on the toilet. I wasn't going to the bathroom, but I was sitting there because I was hiding from my kids. I was in the bathroom. I was like, TK, this story, I need to borrow $100 so I can do that digital marketing thing you're doing. And TK from down south, she's like, girl, that ain't going to make you no damn money. I'm going to give you $900. Somebody say favor ain't fair. I said, TK, I can't pay you back. She said, nobody ain't said nothing about paying you back. That lady invested $900 in me to get started in that business. And guess what? I felt compelled to be successful. Fast forward. I know this has been longer than I expected, but guess what? Somebody's life is going to change because I'm going to help 10 people get where they need to go because I'm looking for 10 frustrated network marketers who want to make some money, 10 frustrated network marketers who want to get feel good about being an entrepreneur again. I want to help 10 frustrated network marketers who want to get back to their dream boards and back to their dreams of taking their family on exotic vacations and driving the car that you want and living in the house that you want and letting your kids go to the schools that they want. all those things that you dreamed about network marketing that never came true, I want you to believe again. I want you to feel like you can do it again, because I was at that point where I didn't feel like I can do it. And guess what? I am a different person today because I jumped into this digital marketing thing with both feet. I joined this group called the Digital Growth Community with the $900 that TK gave me. Okay. And I joined the legacy program, which was the highest program. And some of y'all gonna say she did all this talking to tell us this, but the first sale I made was on July 9th, I believe it was. I don't know if that date is absolutely true. I got to get that date. I was walking out the door. Now, no. It was on June 24th because I got the money before my grandson's birthday. I can tell you it was June 24th because it was the day of it was June 25th because it was the day that my homeowner's insurance was due. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. My daughter kept saying, Mom, how much is the homeowner's insurance? Because I need to put this money aside to pay it if you ain't gonna have the money. Now I was putting my little digital marketing thing together. I said, I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna have it. I was just trusting God and I was just believing again. I started believing again because I started getting my juju back, right? I said, I'm gonna have it. So on June 24th, I went to bed. This is my God-given truth. And I said, God, I don't have this $600. Now I told my daughter I'm going to have it. I can't ask her for $600 just on the rip like that. So God, I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm going to call State Farm tomorrow and see if I can set up a payment plan because I know I'm going to get a sale soon. As God is my living witness, I was walking out the door the very next day and I heard a ding on my PayPal. It was a $600 sale. My homeowner's insurance was $611 due that day. The next day, I'm sorry. And I paid that joint in full the next day. This was the girl who in April didn't even have $5 or 10 nickels to rub together. Yeah, y'all could talk about me, but guess what? I made that sale. Then I made another $900 sale. Then I made another $900 sale. I made another $900 sale. I made another $900 sale. And then the girl who joined at $600 upgraded to $900. And then I made another $900 sale. And then I made a $100 sale. So far I've made 6 $900 sales at 100% profit. So that's $5,400. No, not $5,400. And I made $100 sale. So I've made $5,500 since June. Now, for some of y'all that are like, oh, that ain't nothing. But for me, the girl who didn't have any money, let me tell you something, baby. I felt amazing. My question to you as I end this out is, who wants to feel like that? Who wants to get their juju back? Who wants to experience what I'm experiencing right now? Right now, you can't tell me nothing about what I'm not going to do because God gave me another breath of life. And for those of you who are watching, who have responded to my automation, not so much the Instagram, but those 157 people who said yes to one of my TikToks, who said yes to one of my Instagram posts, who said yes to one of my Facebook or yes to one of my YouTube, you already said you're looking for something. But I want you to feel what I'm feeling. Forget about that. I want you to feel good about yourself again, especially if you are a frustrated network marketer or a frustrated business owner. I want you to feel how I feel now because I tell you, baby, I got 2 vision boards over there and everything on that board is going to become true. I joined at the Legacy Builder program. Now, if you want to go, I'm gonna type it over here in Instagram because they got it scrolling on the screen on the other screen. Get paid daily with Dory.com. That's my website, right? I'm gonna pin that for you right there. It's a one-time commitment. There are no monthly fees. So that $900 I paid one time. I don't have no auto ship. I don't have no website fees. I paid an extra $29 for my website when I first got started. So I was paid $929. And then I went to GoDaddy and I bought this URL and the email, which cost me $46. So I invested $1,000. I'm already $4,000 ahead. And by the end of, I'm looking for 10 families to help in November. That's all I'm able to work with is 10 families in November. You will become a part of our community. It's 43,000 strong. But the 10 families that I'm personally working with, every week we're going to get on the Zoom. We're going to have accountability. We're doing a 90-day run. Let me tell you something, baby. When 2025 walks in here, I'll be $20,000 more richer because I'm going to take on 10 more families in December. 10 families bring you $10,000. 900, I'm saying like 9,000. So really 11 families, but I already got one family. I need 10 more families. That's all I can work with. If you're already in my automation, that's 10 of the 157 of you who are already in here. If you're watching this on YouTube, and ultimately I'm going to put this on Facebook, I'm just looking for 10 families to fill 10 people. In particular, if you're a frustrated network marketer, let me tell you something, baby. Get your juju back. You got that entrepreneurial spirit. You always have it. You always will. And you're not going to feel good until you make it come true. So that's all I got for you today. I hope that helps somebody. I hope that helps somebody make a decision. That went longer than I expected. But let me tell you something. Sometimes you got to invest some time to get what you need. And that is my true story. And the 10 people that I help over the next 30 days are going to be able to share their same story. So y'all have an amazing Saturday. I hope that helps somebody. I hope one person is touched by that story. And I'll talk to you later. Peace and love. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Okay. Talk to you later. Peace and love. Oh, I'm tapping on the screen. So you ain't even got to be technically savvy to do this. Peace and love.